What's up, YouTube? How you doing? This one is going to be about Roy Hargrove and his musical influences. One of my favorite trumpet players who passed all too soon. And anytime I would get to listen to his music, I loved his tone. So we're just going to name down his influences and I'll give my takes and thoughts. Roy Aldridge, Lee Morgan, Wynton Marsalis, Freddie Hubbard, Clifford Brown, D'Angelo Common, and I think I mentioned Wynton Marsalis. Dizzy Gillespie, I think I mentioned. Um, he was an interesting musical hybrid because he was from the traditional, but then he also was balancing neo soul and hip hop. And when you listen to his music, you could definitely hear that he went into those directions. He definitely had an ear that went into different styles. So I remember the 90s when he came out, and I forgot what it was. I think it was the Tokyo Sessions. It was one of them CDs. And I was like checking his stuff out, and I like really was getting into what he was putting down. I really liked his tone and his flavor. Um, the Lee Morgan, Roy Eldridge, I can definitely see the stylings there. There's definitely a nod to that. There's a way that they play from a technical perspective. Dizzy Gillespie, maybe when he held certain notes, I could see a lean to that. For the musical stylings, because Dizzy had a distinctive way he played trumpet. D'Angelo, maybe in the spacing, because there's a certain type of tone which I could maybe sense there. Common with the rapping, because Common style of rapping would definitely loan itself to the stylings. Wynton Marsalis, from the traditional standpoint of view, I could definitely so see that. I mean, Wynton would definitely instruct you to kind of, keep it kind of linear, but also keep it full and complete. So I could see that with certain approaches to that, there was a certain type of styling that I could see that. Freddie Hubbard had a very distinctive tone and phrase, and you always knew his horn playing. You knew what he was about, and I think that that was definitely you could see that. Louis Armstrong, who was probably the first pitch perfect music artist, if you want to talk about from a modern perspective, because once you get to the tones, the way the man could sing, the way he could phrase, he was one of one. He inspired everybody that came in the jazz world and so on and so forth, because you could not do anything to match Satchmo. So obviously, if you take upon that and the way he would do the distinctions with his notes and his tones and runs, you'd have to. And I could see that being an influence on Roy Hargrove. I could definitely see that an influence. But I think I saved the best one for last. When I think about Roy Hargrove, Clifford Brown. I still remember that time. I think it's live at the Basin, and it was Clifford Brown and Max Roach. And listen, I'm a big time Miles Davis fan, and I like Donald Byrd. There's other trumpet players I'm a big fan of. But if you talking about cadence and swing and rhythm and harmony and just cooking with it on the flow, not too many people's touching Clifford Brown. He uh, passed way too soon. Kind of like Roy Hargrove in a way, because it's almost like kindred spirits. Because when you hear the sounds and the tones, you're thinking, man, and you wanted more. And Clifford Brown's style of playing, you could definitely tell an inspiration of Roy Hargrove. And, you know, there are distinctiveness about trumpet players. There's a distinction of tone, of notes, of spacing, of phrasing, of solos, and how the intensity is and how it comes. So you take that all consideration. But anyway, just studying Roy Hargrove's musical influences, he definitely left a lasting impression. He was one of my favorites in his all too brief career. So I'm going to take a time to acknowledge some of those influences, because he went from a traditionalist to neo soul and hip hop, and then jazz and funk and R&B in between. And if you listen to his music, you know exactly what I mean. He covered a wide range in all short time. He definitely was somebody that was the truth musically. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share if you like, and hit that membership. Because when you do requests come true, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm not one time peace.